Okay, it's been a while since I did a blog for Lawless Entertainment. I've been quite busy. And I'm just here to talk about the new Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City that will be coming out March 20th. And after watching the tournament, Last Line of Defense by GameSpot rather, I think. I gotta say, it looks like a fun game. It's not perfect, but it looks like a fun game for what it is and what it's meant to be. And the current argument seems to be based on whether or not it's Resident Evil or survival horror enough. And to be honest with you, I don't know why it's getting that treatment, for the simple fact that we're playing from the perspective of military operatives under Umbrella Corp. These are people that are specialized in handling BOWs and trained in close quarters and military equipment handling combat. So the whole point, yes, it will be hard to feel in terror if you're so well equipped and very capable of handling such an intense situation compared to what you may go through as Chris or Leon did in the old Resident Evils, or how even the people in Outbreak did in those Resident Evils. And you gotta put things in perspective. People in Outbreak, they were just regular civilians, okay? Regular civilians, with the exception of a cop, but what cop is trained in that type of shit? You know, so yeah, it felt more intense as far as having limited ammo. You gotta use whatever tool you can get to make sure that you survive. They're not trained to handle that. We can relate to them more. Chris and Leon, Jill and them, they were cops. They were at least trained to handle some form of combat. They weren't exactly military at all. But it was still new to them as far as zombies and other biological weapons like tyrants and shit. That was all that's brand new to them. So yeah, that's going to be difficult. But this game is based with specific, specially trained type of characters from perspective. Plus it's a spinoff. So it's not to really worry about. And the whole argument is, oh, it's like Call of Duty or insert generic shooter here. And yeah, I get it. There have been a lot of generic shooters out in the past few months. So anyway, as I was saying before that phone call came in, the whole Call of Duty thing, I think, yeah, the shooting genre has been oversaturated thanks to Call of Duty, Battlefield, this and all this other stuff. And though, yes, they have admitted they're trying to tap into that market, at the same time, I think change was inevitable. People tend to over-glorify the old Resident Evil games as this, you know, oh, well, you couldn't just shoot enemies and waste ammo. The ammo was scarce, and you have to make sure you conserve as much as possible, and you know, survival. Oh, you know, like, okay. Honestly, the only Resident Evil game that can honestly live up to that was Resident Evil 1. Even a remake, but Resident Evil 1. Because every Resident Evil after that, even before 4 and 5, you had plenty of ammo. You can look at my Let's Play in Resident Evil 2 and 3. By the time I reached the labs in Resident Evil 2, I'm a one-man fucking army. Granted, yes, I played this game before, but there's still plenty of ammo. And it don't take long, even on your first time, to figure out, okay, I shouldn't be wasting so much ammo. You learn that lesson when you try to shoot all the zombies at the very beginning of the game after the car crash, you know. So I remember that, and I played the game and it was brand new in '98. So when I kept getting killed by the zombies, because I was used to video games where if I got a weapon, there are enemies coming towards me, I attack. I was trying to do that, and I'll end up running out of ammo, and I'll get eaten. So it clicked in my head, okay, I'm just going to run for it. And I did, and it got me through. So, like I said, you can check out my Let's Plays on them 2 games alone. But, honestly, and I hope to do a Let's Play of Part 1 and the remake as well. But honestly, it's really no Resident Evil game after Part 1 really had that scarce of ammo. Especially if you're a Resident Evil veteran, you know the routine. You've already learned that lesson within your first Resident Evil game. And people put that, limited scarce ammo that adds to the horror. And yeah, in a way it does. But at the same time, no. What made Resident Evil 1 scariest to me personally was the atmosphere. And they even increased that very thing in the remake. Because I could take Dead Space. Because people complained about Resident Evil 4 and 5 where, enemies are dropping ammo. You just got ammo everywhere. Okay, yeah, that's true. But so did Dead Space. Dead Space had the same thing. But it was scary. It was scarier than any Resident Evil game I've ever played. To be honest. Because it was about the atmosphere. Okay, the feeling of the game. They had the clanky noises. Every little thing made a noise. You might kick a can over you didn't see. You think somebody or one of them necromorphs is like right behind you or some shit. That atmosphere, that paranoia, that's what they created. Even though enemies would drop ammo, drop health, you could buy ammo and buy health just like you can in Resident Evil 4 and 5. But it still maintained horror. And that was because of atmosphere. That's the main thing Capcom has been fucking up, is the atmosphere, the horrific atmosphere of that. And I think they kind of lost that around 5. So people got bad taste in their mouth after 4 and 5, and look at this game and attack it from all sides. And it's easy to throw it in, it's just another general shooting genre. But from what I saw in that tournament, looked like a lot of fun, especially when both teams know what they're doing. The whole zombies coming at it looks fun. And I don't know where people get a Call of Duty thing. If I were to compare it to another shooter, I would put it more in like maybe jocking off of Gears of War. Call of Duty, fuck Call of Duty, first of all. And the only good one to me, honestly, was Modern Warfare 1. So Call of Duty can eat a dick. But this game right here, I will be doing a Let's Play. And also Metal Gear Solid 4's MGO is going to shut down the servers on June 12th. I hope they make a MGO 3, which has vastly improved and actually let the servers be more connected to PSN rather than their own, because they just had too many lagging issue problems with their shit. So hopefully they learned their lesson with that. But I'll use my Metal Gear Lawless 2 page to also put in other shooters as well when I'm playing multiplayer or whatnot. That way I try to keep things separate. I try to use this channel for the Let's Plays and music and stuff. And if I want to do multiplayer and that kind of aspect, I'll put it over to Metal Gear Lawless 2. So, anyway, I'm excited for the Operation Raccoon City. It's probably the closest thing to Outbreak 3 as we can get. Unfortunately, I didn't get Outbreak 1 and 2 until like way after the servers stopped working. Which, if Capcom were smart, since they releasing all this Resident Evil shit and even another whack ass Resident Evil movie coming out, and it's gonna be whack, I already know it, they should just put it in the store, PSN store, and give us Outbreak File 1 and 2. They might as well milk it. Give us a good price, probably around $15 maybe, for each separate download, That would be a smart move on Capcom's part, honestly. Because in general, they're slowly putting PlayStation 2 games on there to download like they do for the PS1 games. I don't know why they didn't think of that 4 years ago. Instead of the whole emulator or backwards compatibility shit, just make it usable on the fucking PlayStation 3 regardless. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on the matter. I'm excited about the new Resident Evil game. And I'm looking forward to Resident Evil 6. Change is gonna happen, people, because honestly, the whole tank controls thing from back in the day, that was based on limitations of the systems and standards. And to tell you the truth, I never really liked moving around like that. I thought the shit was retarded. I tolerated it because it was a fun game, you know. But seriously, I'm not gonna want to play a game that moves like that no more. Come on, man. It's 2012. The 90s is over. Let it go. Okay. I mean, come on. Would you move like that in fucking real life? Honestly. I mean, who's going to tolerate that shit? And you got so many games that's advanced in that. And it was just artificial horror. They couldn't even go all out. And the amount of zombies that could fit on the screen at the time, they made it where it didn't over-challenge the player, because if we move like that, with the amount of zombies that could be on the screen at a time now, we'll be fucked. Okay, and besides, I like shooting zombies. I like blowing their brains out or shooting them in half with a shotgun. I got guns. I want to use the motherfucking things. You want to give me a challenge? Put more zombies on the screen. That's exactly what I see going on in Resident Evil 6. So, that's my take on it. Give me your opinion. This is Lawless Law. I'll check you out later. Peace out.